So how you been?
Good. How are you, sir? Living.
Yeah. Just like it's a weird kind of like a nostalgic back feeling because it feels like I'm starting over again in '99, right? Like like going on the road.
So it gives you a nostalgic feeling back again.
Yeah, because like you start in '99 and then you just kind of do, and then you're doing all this stuff in between records and just as your own personality type person or whatever. And then here comes another record, and then you got to go and you revert back to everything that you did back in like on the road, promotion, this, interviews, all that other stuff, and which is great because I get to see some people that I haven't seen in a while. But then some new people that show up,
like different generations, that notice your stuff,
and then that's the great part because here's new generations, and they're like, like a lot of them will say, I knew your music. Well, I knew your music because I listened to it, but I also because I listen to hip hop. But then I also know it because my dad or my mom would play this song all the time in the something, right? And then they're like, I just know the song. Like it's how my kids know Michael Jackson. They weren't alive when Michael Jackson was born.
So that's the whole thing back.
Yeah.
So we before
50 Cent or what? Go see him down the road.
Okay.
Oh, 50 Cent's down the road?
Yeah, he's not too far. Well, he's downtown. Yeah, he's doing some.
Some at the LCBO, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, where are we going to start in 3 seconds? Oh, that part was great. That's going to be in there for sure. Yeah, that's like behind the scenes. That was great.
Was it? Oh, okay.
We said we were going right away. No,
it's all good. Yeah.
Too, because it looked like so professional. That's why I shut my mouth.
Oh yeah. No, this is good.
I didn't hate on my old school teacher. And you go watch it and find something.
Okay, ready? We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Johnny I Pro Show. I have here the legendary OG Choclair. Welcome.
Oh, what's up, my brother? How you doing, man? How you doing?
I gotta say, it's absolute honor. Like, I've been knowing you way back as a kid, growing up and stuff. Just having you in the presence is an honor. New album out too.
Yeah.
So a lot of new stuff's happening to you. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Let's talk about a lot of new stuff. A lot of new stuff. A lot of great things are happening, and it's great also with a lot of the artists that are coming up that I'm able to go and help facilitate their movement through this world that is the entertainment industry of hip hop.
Exactly. Now I gotta ask you now off the bat, what got you into music?
What got me into music off the jump was myself. Sorry, it was my brother. My older brother, he used to always be playing CKLN 88.1, 1 till 4 every Saturday. And he would play it all the time, loud, till like the speakers were like, like old school ghetto blasters and stuff like that, and until it would break the speakers, and he would just play it all the time. And I was listening to lots of different type of music. Like I was listening to Quiet Riot, Levert, Kool Moe Dee, Bon Jovi, Platinum Blonde. Like I was listening to everything.
All genres, yeah.
And I like the fact of music and entertainment. And then the one thing that really got me into the way that I wanted to go and do it was actually comedy, which was Eddie Murphy. So I was watching. So I went to go and I wanted to watch Raw. And because of Trading Places and Beverly Hills Cop and Eddie Murphy just being on Saturday Night Live and stuff like that. And I went to go watch Raw, and then my mom was like, okay, yeah, well, I got to go see it first, because it was, back then, I think it was AA, Adult Accompli, whatever it was called. You needed an adult with you to go watch the movie type thing, AA or whatever it was called. So my mom was like, I think I was like 16 at that time. And my mom was like, yeah, I'm going to go and watch it first and come back. And my mom, like, you gotta understand, is like, she goes to church on Sunday.
Old school.
Yeah, church on Sunday, helps on Wednesday, volunteers on Saturday, Sunday school. Like, my mom goes to church.
Yeah.
Really, very religious. And she came back after watching Eddie Murphy Raw, like the 10 Commandments movie with 2 big bricks of whatever was written on the 10 Commandments and her hair gray. Like, she just was like, what did I just see? And she's like, there's no way you're going to watch this movie. So of course, me and my two brothers went and watched the movie. Like we paid for like My Little Pony, but went into Raw instead. Like at Cedar Brae Movie Theater in Scarborough, and watched it. And the thing that was really cool that I really liked was, I was like, and I'm young and I'm like ignorant as of how all this stuff works. And I'm like, this guy, he's not. There's no music. There's nothing. He's controlling the crowd. Like, they laugh when he needs them to laugh. They quiet when he needs to tell the punchlines and stuff. And he's controlling the crowd. And I just found that amazing and fascinating that he's controlling the crowd on stage and everybody's looking at him. So in that aspect, I was like, I would love to do that. And then I was already getting into the music, and that kind of made me want to be at least a performer.
Yes.
And the performance that I would be doing is hip hop.
Wow, it's beautiful. Now, you mentioned right there Scarborough as well. Like, how was that growing up in Scarborough?
Oh, Scarborough was like everything. And like, if I try to go and relate it to other people, like if you, like someone can tell me how it was growing up in Rexdale or growing up in Markham or growing up in Mississauga, Pickering, Oshawa, whatever. You will have your stories there. I could just tell you, growing up in Scarborough, anything that I can say, if you didn't grow up in Scarborough, it may not relate, but it was awesome. Like the amount of different people, cultures, and everything. Like in the area where I grew up in, we were all broke. Like, didn't matter where. Like, it wasn't you were broke because you came from the Caribbean. No, we were Eastern European, Italians, Caribbean, East Asian, Southeast Asian, and whatever. All of us were broke. So we all grew up trying to be like, we don't want to be broke. And in life, when you're growing up as like a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old, and these are your friends, and we lived in a building. One lived on the 12th floor, I lived on the 6th floor, somebody lived on the 7th floor, and whatever, and Nicky 9-door, and you ran down the hallway to go and get out of the hallway before it and get down the stairs. Oh, we did all of that. And so my growing up experience in Scarborough was a really cool vibe on, like, being poor wasn't cool, but like the people that I met and everything was really cool because we all grew up the same. We grew up on, my first concert was me, my friend Chris Poole. He was like super Italian. I don't know if this is a good or a bad way they used to say it, but like straight Juno.
Gino, yeah. Gino.
Like his jacket would just come like this close off his shoulder.
Yeah.
Mullet hair.
Slick back, yeah.
Heavy D shoes, black shoes with the silver on the tip.
For sure. And
our first concert, his name is Chris Poole. He was one of my best friends back then. Me and him, we were like the odd couple of friends, right? And because he was that and I was this, and our first concert was seeing Stevie B and Maestro at Kingswood Theater.
Stevie B, legendary, wow.
At Wonderland. And that was us. And I remember we had $20 to get there, and we got to Scarborough Town Center, and we ran out of money. And my mom had to come and meet up with both of us and give us like another $40 so we could get on the go bus to go to Canada's Wonderland to see that concert. So yeah, like it was just great. Like like Scarborough is just Scarborough. It's like not being there and then coming back is just like, man, I'm back in the borough. I'm back in the borough, and it hasn't changed. The vibe and the vibe is just so good. It's just good.
Exactly. Now this whole new album and stuff. Congrats on that as well. The new album. Let's talk about the album. And you're just here. You have also media. You're doing a lot of tour media. You had a listening party as well last week, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the new album as well. Transit music.
Yes.
Let's talk about the whole concept behind that. Transit music.
Well, okay. So with transit music, the funny thing is, I was gonna call it subway music at first, but then little like indicators go off in your head, and I'm like, subway music. So now they might think it's like Subway sandwiches, and then I'm thinking, oh, I don't want them to go and associate me with Jared. But like my main thought about everything was, it's like within that time period, like between like 08 and 21, and maybe a couple of songs coming up into 25, was me reconnecting with myself because a lot of things were going on. So I would just be like recording music and doing songs and doing things. And while I was doing it and listening to it or going to the studio doing it, I had my license suspended. Always make sure you pay your traffic bills. I had my license suspended, so I had to go, and I was taking the transit all the time. I was taking the transit. And, you know, especially this time of year, you get in the train, it's packed, especially on rush hour. It's always full. People in their big jackets and whatever, and then people put up their headphones and they just sit there and they don't look around.
They don't care.
They don't look around. They just go there and they listen to whatever they're listening to. And that's what was transit music, which is going for, and then you're trying to get to one place to another. My friends joke with me sometimes because I'll be like, I'm about to do a 1-2. Now, people who know me will understand what a 1-2 is, meaning that you start at 1 and you go to 2. So what it really just means is progression. Yeah, I'm going to do this at 1-2 and I'll be over there. I'm going to progress over there. Or I could say, like, yeah, I'm going to be here and I will just do a 1 and a 1 and I'll chill, which means I ain't going nowhere. So it was just what you're doing, what you're moving with, what you're leaving and listening to, and what gets you from one place to the other, wherever you have to go. If you got to go shopping or going out or you're meeting a friend or got to pay a bill, whatever you got to do. And that was the music that I put in, that I was listening to, like songs like from Kid Rock, Only God Knows Why. But then I would listen to We're Not Going to Take It by, why can I even remember these guys?
We're not gonna take it.
Twisted Sister. And then do that. But it was like those type of songs that in the cold of a winter, which is exactly when this album dropped, and going to what you have to do, that's what I wanted to go and do. And the songs that you can listen to and just do what you need to do. Transit music, transit in the car, it gets you from 1 to 2.
Exactly. Did you feel now a lot of pressure coming up with transit music after, what is it, about almost 20 some years, a new album? Did you feel a lot of pressure seeing like the new school now in the mix? And did you have any pressure?
I didn't have pressure from people per se. More pressure was on myself, just because I was, like everybody always goes back to like a Let's Ride, like I'll do a show. It's song number 1. Like I tell on stage, everybody's cheering. Yeah, Choclair's here. Let's ride. I'm like, I got 40 minutes to do, right? Like, like you're calling for the first song on whatever the crowd and whatever. And I think more of the pressure kind of came on myself because people like what they like from you, and it's like Al Bundy, one of my favorite shows, Married with Children, and then he did a couple things. I remember there was a movie, Blue Chips with Shaq, back in the day, and a couple other movies that he did, and then it was then he went into Modern Family, and then he went to Modern Family, and but I always look at him as Al Bundy.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, it was like a lot of people might look at me more as ice cold Choclair, Let's Ride.
Yes.
Like that's what when they first gravitated to me. And what would they be thinking, like, when now I drop something different that might be different from Let's Ride, because that was 20 years ago. 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it was more pressure of like, do they understand my growth? Do they understand where I came from and where I was at that point to where I am right now? Like, like then I had no kids and now I have kids. Then I was at home. Now I have bills. And all this other stuff. So the growth and all those things and the maturity that comes in with everything that you're doing. And that's kind of where the pressure came in. But like, I got good people that work around me, like, like Socrates and Cardinal, Solitaire and other Road Dollar and other just good friends that would be like, that would look at me and be like, what, you're not putting that out? And I'd be like, what are you talking about? And he'd be like, bro, like, just is a track. I'm like, are you sure? And then they do the thing. And then, like that over dramatically walk away type scenario. And then they're like, guy, if you don't put this out, whatever.
Yeah.
and then they helped get me back into swing, because they're like, yo, this song My People Say from Solitaire did this one, and look at what you're doing on it. Like, this is something that's really good. Focus. Like, this is so different. The tracks I did with Classified, Heard Everybody, and Backdraft, and you have a track with ODB, you have a track with Stinking Crooked Eye, you have a track, King Crooked now, I guess is what he's called, and everything, and that kind of helped me get back into the swing, because they're like telling me, like, yo, like, if you don't see it, we're going to tell you that we see it. And I just decided to go and put it in. So it wasn't a pressure on from the outside, because I think people, to a degree, kind of were settled in, like, we like Choclair, Ice Cold, Let's Ride, Light It Up, Robin, Skunk. Like, you know, we know those tracks, we know those tracks, and we love them for that. It's like, you know, we don't want them to put out something new, and then it's going to taint our feel of those songs that we like. And I never got that. And then and what I'm getting from the release of this record is that they're just like, yo, this is
bangers.
This is the Choclair that, you know, like, this is the Choclair that we grew up loving.
And it's quite also a little different as well, like the feels of it, like Got This, like certain songs, even as it starts as well, like the ODB, the Suave, Dirt Dogs, like, it's like a lot of songs that are also just like, it's your vibe, like you said, Let's Ride, Rubbin' and stuff, those are classic. But this one, I believe when I listen to the album, it brings out a different, I wouldn't say different, but like somewhat a different aura of Choclair mixed with the, like, of the old as well, but given like the new, I guess the new school, like you could hang in the new and the old. He gives like a whole complete package. I enjoyed the album. Listened to it twice, as I said. It was actually really good album.
Yeah, I like when I was like AMP, that's my distribution company that I'm working with right now, going through my record company, and when that situation came up, that literally came up in like August, around August, and I was like, yeah, you know, like, I'm listening to these songs and I'm doing private listening sessions, like whenever I'm in the car with Socks or somebody or whatever, and check this out. And they're like, well, what album is this for? I was like, I don't have an album for it. I'm just doing these songs. He's like, well, what are you? And then it would accumulate, and they would be like, okay, so really, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You have all this, and then some of the songs, like Made to Move Mountains, they were released before, but on a very minor level, and not even in Canada, like just overseas. Like Made to Move Mountains came out in Germany for some movie. Stomp the Yard. Back when all the dance movies. Like, yeah, like all those dance movies, Stomp the Yard and whatever. And that just came over here. And it just came. It was never released here. And they're like, yo, like, you have all these songs. You put it together. And then that day kind of convinced me to go and be like, yeah. I kind of look at it as like everybody, and somebody's going to say I'm going to try and acquit myself to it. But like, it's one of those things. Like, imagine if you're just sitting in a studio like this and Dre puts on some music. And then you're like, bro, it's like, what? You have this song with Akon and this, and this. What are you doing with it? It literally was like that. And that, again, I'm not equating myself to Dr. Dre, because Dr. Dre is great. I'm great too, but I'm not Dr. Dre. But that whole vibe was that. They were like listening to these songs and like, yo, you got songs with Class, ODB, Crooked, you know, like Kim Davis.
Rest in peace, Bishop, as well.
Bishop, rest in peace to Bishop for sure. And you have all these songs, like, put it together.
Bangers, yeah.
And so, and then that's how I put it all together, and here we are.
And how did that song now come about? The Suave Dirt Dogs with ODB come about. That song's just killer. Like,
oh my gosh, that was a really great experience. So me, Socks, and a couple of rec execs, we fly out to LA, which was weird because he was in New York, and us coming from Toronto, like, it's 45 minutes. We should have just flew to New York and did it over there. But like, they flew us all the way to LA, then had to fly him to LA. Of course, that's on my budget of whatever recoupables. And then he came in, and we went into the studio. So me and Socks are there. We were in the studio, and we're waiting for him. And I remember it was a very cool story. I get a phone call, and like, it's ODB on the phone, on my phone. And I'm like, ODB's calling me, right? Like, I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, yo, Sha, It's literally, he called me Sha. He calls me. You'll hear it in the record when you hear it. He keeps saying Sha, but that's she's like, yo, Sha, all right, okay, so I'm gonna be there just now in like about an hour or so. We're 6 hours late. I'm gonna be there in like an hour or so, and we're gonna go and we're gonna smash this track down. I was like, word up, okay, cool. Comes in. Then he goes, and tell your, this is so great. And tell your A&R that he needs to put another 5K on that. So my A&R is sitting right over there.
No pressure.
So I'm like, his name is Russ Hergert. So I go, Russ, this is whatever. Russ was instant champion. He's like,
here you go.
Pulls out his company card. Whatever we need to go and get this happening. So he's like, whatever, scan back before email transfer and all this stuff was in the mix and stuff like that. So then
you had to get it done.
He got it done right away. So then he shows up, and he's cool as hell. Like, like people would. Like he has like that kind of outgoing type personality, whatever. He just comes and says, hey, what's up, Sha? He goes, no, he called me Sha. He never called me Choclair. He always says Sha. What up, Sha? How you doing? I'm like, cool. So we start talking about the song. Me, Socks, and him. We're sitting there just going over whatever we're going over. And I remember he goes into in the booth, and he goes and he's rapping and he's doing his parts on the song. And the engineer guy, this is going to be so crazy. The engineer guy's like, I think he called him, hey, Mr. Dirty, because he kept saying Sha all the time, and they didn't understand, right? So he's like, Mr. Dirty, it's Choclair. You have to say Choclair. Yeah. So he's in the booth, right? I almost want to stand up, but I don't want to get away from the mic. But so he gets in the, and he's like, so they go, yeah, Mr. Dirty, yeah, you probably should say Choclair instead of just Sha, because his name is Choclair. So from there, the waters are calm. And then all of a sudden, ripples come in, and he goes, I know what his motherfucking name is. See, the problem is that you've been telling us what to say for 300 motherfucking years. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, the studio's just about to blow up. It's like, what's going on? And then he goes, you okay if I call you Sha, right? Like, you okay? I know your name is Choclair, but like, I just like Sha. Like, you okay if I call you Sha? And I was like, yeah, cool. And then that blew over. And then that's why in the whole song, like, what up, Sha? What up, Sha? What up, Sha? Because that part there, because that was the moment that I was like, oh, this shit is not gonna happen.
Legendary.
Yeah, like that was it. And then he left. Like we did the song, and he was so cool, and it wasn't as bombastic as people see him on TV. He was just chill, with the exception of that one. But I don't know, maybe he had an issue or something, like whatever was going on. But he was just so cool. And then he left, and he was like, yo, this song is gonna be with you. Take it and cherish it. Then what happened was on the record side of things, they dealt with ODB, but didn't deal with Elektra Records. So we couldn't release it because they wanted 250,000 American for his exclusive rights to put that song on. So we already are 20K down
the whole
with him.
Yeah.
And now, so like 270? And then this is at the end of the record, right? This is of Memoirs of Blake Savage, and they're like, no,
this can't be.
Yeah, we don't have that, right? Like we can't. Like 207. American. So then the song is just there.
Yeah.
Then somebody puts it on a white label record, and like no who's doing it. They just printed it and put it out there, and some people got it, and it got onto YouTube and stuff like that.
Would you say like leak basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, like somebody that knew about it, they leaked it out, and then the time limit went over as far as like how they could hold it, like 7 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on this track with ODB. Rest in peace.
Classic.
And Sox produced it, and Sox is on it, and me and Sox make great music together. And I was like, okay, this record needs to find a home. And so I was like, it needs to go on Transit Music. And that's what I did, because I just came back. But like that whole experience, It was great. It was completely magical. Like me explaining it won't even tell you how being in the room and watching that process of that record come together with me, Sox, and ODB. Sitting there creating music.
Literally movie.
Yeah, it was great. And I'm glad that I'm able to go and be able to let people go and see what we did together in the studio.
Wow, legendary stuff. I love it. It's like New York legend with Canadian legend, just blended so well. Now, we mentioned as well before is Bishop as well, rest in peace to him as well. Like, let's talk about the impact that he had also on this, like, just the city itself.
Bishop, okay, so I met, probably was like 98. I met Bishop. I forget what the event was. I know DJ X was playing at this thing right by the CN Tower in Toronto, and I'm in a tent, and Bishop's there. Like so, like look, try and imagine yourself of a 1998 Bishop, you know, like almost like Scrappy Doo to Scooby Doo. Like I'm Scooby Doo and he's Scrappy Doo. Like he's like, let's go. Like, and we just started talking, and you know, just whatever. We were both from the borough. We're just like, yeah, whatever. He connected mostly at first with my manager at the time, Day, and whichever, and we just stayed connecting. And I would know more about him, get to know more about him. I already knew about him because I was playing his freestyle stuff and Kipling to Kennedy songs on DJ X one time asked me to go and hold down 88.1 from 1 to 4 on a Saturday. And then I decided that I was going to play nothing but Canadian hip hop. And I remember people at the radio station, all the helpers at the stage, at this time, they're like, are you going to find enough records to cover 4 hours?
What?
And I found enough records to cover 4 hours. Like, this is not internet and you email me your song. Yeah. It's like, you have to have vinyl. So, and then I'm playing it, and it went over so well. And then he asked me to do it again. And then the second time that I did it, because he was doing something and couldn't do it that day, and then Bishop's in the studio with me. And then I meet Bishop again at this one place. And then we just kind of hung out. And then we became friends. And then one of the things that he always used to tell me is like, yo, I never passed Victoria Park. Like, I've just been in Scarborough. And now all of a sudden we're all over the place. Yeah. We're everywhere. You know, and he would do his freestyle things. Like, if somebody put something up in the air and he would rap. He didn't have a set. I would just give him, like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm a little bit tired. Take 10 minutes. And I go to the back of the stage and drink water and wipe my face off. And he'd do his thing. And then he obviously started recording music and stuff like that and having songs. And then he went on to BET 106 in Park and did the freestyle battles. And he was battling with Jin and everything like that.
Legendary days. Wow, Jin.
Yeah. And we just became friends and really, really good friends. And he was a solid guy. Very, very solid. And, and he was one of those guys. Because he would always say, like, you're too nice. This is what Bishop used to always tell me, and I cherish this with him, and it helps me. I cherish this from him, and it helps me even when I do like stuff that I do and everyday stuff now. It's like, yo, Shocks, you're too nice. Like you're what do you call me? He said you're like a diplomat. Like you know, like you'll talk to people and whatever. Where Bishop would be like, F you, that ain't happening right now. Like, this is the done and the done, and you ain't talking to him like that. So he was kind of like my pit bull.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't do that to people in front of me, right? But he would do it to my ear. He'd be like, yo, that guy, like, yo, he's going to find a way to not pay you. And, yo, where do you need me? You need me on the corner in the back.
That's a real one.
Yeah, like at the back door when he comes out, like, you need me there. And I'm like, Bishop, just chill. But he always had my back, and he was solid, and a solid friend. And rest in peace to Bishop. And when we did End of the Road, the song that I have on the record with him, that's just when, because that song goes back quite a few years, but like he was like he just did 420 with Nate Dogg, and he had all these other songs going on. So he goes to me, on Memoirs of Blake Savage, there's a song called When I'm High. And it's me and Bishop, but Bishop has like the last 8 bars of the song on the thing, because it's like a continuous song type thing. And then he goes to me, he's like, yo, look how long I've known you, and how come I don't have a song with you? I was like, well, how come I'm not on a song on your record? And then he's like, well, I don't know, but you make more records than I do. And I was like, okay, well, so we should do a song together. So I show up with the beat for End of the Road. We're sitting, I remember we were sitting in my car, and one of the compliments he said, he was just like, yo, where'd you get this whip from? And I was like, yeah, I got it. He's like, it's a nice whip. And I was like, thank you. And he's like, okay, well, what do you do? And he dropped this verse. So then we go up, and we're actually at his place up on Glamorgan, up on Kennedy and where he was at Kennedy and 401. And so we go up into the building, and we start recording. And then I start laying my verse down, and he stops it. And he goes, yo, what are you doing? And I'm thinking, oh, maybe what, you don't like what I'm doing? He goes, guy, why are you just going off? I said, well, because I'm on a song with you. And he's like, what does that mean? I'm like, because you're dope.
Yeah.
So I got to at least be as dope or doper. And that is why my verse goes in, because me and Bishop were like, not battling, but
yeah,
like
competition, friendly competition.
Yeah, getting the best out of each other. And then that's why my verse is going on like that, and his verse is going on like that. And that's when we did it. And we did the video, everything by Bluffers Park and down on Lakeshore West up that way, and it came out that way, and that's why it came out, because the respect of our work ethics of writing rhymes and stuff like that. It was like, you're on it, I have to go and match up with you, so I'm gonna put whatever, and it's my song, and I'll take like 26 bars, and I'll just do it that way, right? But that's how that song came together, and it was great. We shot the video. Daryl Riley came in on the hook. He really niced it up, and I'm so happy to have that, because that was one of the things that he always kept mentioning, is like, how do I do not have a song with my friend? Like, we go everywhere with each other, and we don't have a song together. And then that's where we did that End of the Road song from that.
So you just take it in the nostalgic, ODB, Bishop, just so much nostalgic in this album. That's why it's a must hear for sure. Now, if there's something right now that fan tells you, like, or you're trying to tell them, listen to my album, what is one thing that they could look forward to if they haven't heard your album yet?
I think what they're going to hear is my dedication to wordplay. I find creative ways to say, like, everybody could say, I grew up in a impoverished area, this, and I did a lot of stuff was going around me. Like, people could say that. Like, that pretty much a lot of times people say that story, right? Or I met a girl, and then they make a story out of it. The thing that I really found myself in growth with people like Bishop, Maestro as well, Sox for sure. Me and Sox go back and forth on like verses all the time, and everybody else, is how you say it. So how do I say what everybody says all the time, but different, and make you also relate to it? And that is where Solitaire, I know I'm name dropping, but it's these guys come in my life all the time. Solitaire would be like, yo, what did you just say? Because I'll say something and I'll explain it, like the line, and he'll be like, oh, I get it. But he'll be like, but why did you say it like that? Like, you said it like that. And I was like, well, because, like, I'm not quoting a line specifically right now, but like, I'll be like, because if you went and hopped on the streetcar and had to go here and come back, then, like, you went this way and this way, it's like kind of like a triangle. Like, I'm just making stuff up right now, but in the way that I think of dropping lines, and then he'll be like, makes sense, okay. And then Solitaire always does one of these. He'll do this. I'll say something to him like, I'm kind of going off track a little bit right now, but there's this song, to believe and to stop to believe. It's an old song. Somebody might remember it out there. But I always thought it said, don't take beer from Papa. So I call Solitaire. This is how we communicate. I was like, yo, and I think it's called Michael Madonic, I think is the name of the guy. He has like a bunch of real hits that you just know and may not know who that that he was the one to sing. So I called him. He's in Grenada. So he goes, yo, sorry, I missed your call yesterday. What's going on? I'm in Grenada right now and everything. I was like, okay, I won't waste your minutes and everything. But do you know this song, To Believe? And I was like, don't take beer from Papa. And then he goes, so Solitaire, literally, he goes, hold on one second. He didn't, I can't see him, but this is, I know he did that. I'm charging you for this call.
What a character.
Yeah. And he's like, that's not what he says, and stop it, and whatever. But we communicate in that kind of fun type of way that we communicate, and it's definitely don't take beer from Papa. I don't know what he actually says right there, but I know the song, and that's just how it all came together. Like just doing this stuff. Let's Ride came together because Cardi thought the song was too fast.
Wow.
Like Cardi, we used to go, before they turned the government into condos now, we used to pull up, we go to government or wherever we were going, and we'd pull up in our cars, and the Socks would be in my car because me, Socks, and Ro from Scarboro, and Cardi and Solitaire and everybody else there from the West End, Okinawa, and whatever. We exchanged beat tapes, what you were working on. So Let's Ride comes in, and we're listening to beats, and Let's Ride, the beat comes in, and I was like, yo, I like this one. And Cardi, he calls me Latte for a chocolate latte. So he'll be like, Latte. Just a little fast. Do you think it can work? I was like, just give me a try. Let me go and see what can happen. She's like, okay. So he's looking at me, so the Scarboro car, me, Ro, and Socks. Yeah, me, Ro, and Socks in my 82 Lynx with no floor, like Flintstone floor. Like you had to stop the car with your feet on the ground, like rusted ground. Like it was bad. Not even a radio. We had a ghetto blaster, and my ghetto blaster took like 8 triple D batteries, and we tried to be cool, and I had the speakers hanging up on the thing, like the detachable speaker. And my mom's speaker in the back connected with an extension cord using the arms cords, like the one cord and the other cord. But then we pull up in front of the club, and then my batteries would die.
No.
Did
you replace it, or you just?
Oh no, yeah, we went straight to. I wasn't Circle K, but we went straight to the Circle K at that time and bought new batteries. So we could pump. That was the flex, because they didn't know that. That's exactly how we roll. And so he plays the track, and I was like, oh, okay. So I had to get batteries, and so we come back, so I could listen to what was going on in the car. And then he goes, and he's like, it's too fast. Okay, so you Scarborough guys, Socks, make sure you're in the studio with him, because we don't want no voiceovers, to make sure that it's him actually recording on it, because I think this is too fast for Socks. And that's why right at the beginning, yes, sir. When a man wanted to ride, what did he do? That's why that track came together that way, because Cardi thought it was too fast for me.
Wow.
And that became my biggest hit.
So if people don't know, now they know.
Now they know.
Wow, legendary.
Yeah, and that's why Socks is at the beginning, because there's no reason, and there was no structure to the song. Like if you look, there's like 16 bars before I even start rapping. Like nowadays, like songs are like 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 touch. Yeah, tops, yeah. You know? That's already 16 bars, and it's just Socks talking. Then I rap for 28 bars. So before the chorus, what is that? 28, 6, what is that? Like almost 40 bars.
Yeah, 40 bars, yeah.
Before the chorus comes in. This is just us rapping. Wow. And that song became what it was, and it was because of us sitting there with me blowing out 8 triple D batteries outside of government.
Outside of Lincoln.
Yeah, and go and do it. And he telling me that the beat was too fast. And then we went and we did it, and that then became that song. So it's, like from there all the way up until now, it's like, it's just that traveling of appreciation of music and I would say like individual genius of people who write and create anything, music, art, like people who draw, and I can't even imagine what they draw. Like, and then you go and you put it into like all this like Avatar type stuff, and things like that, and it's just being around them and having that kind of creative vibe. And like the people will say I can't do what you do, they'll tell me that, and I would say I can't do what you do. Like you build houses. Like if I was to build a house, my foundation be all broken. like water be seeping in and everything, like, you know. And I appreciate their talent, like they appreciate my talent, and because of that, it helps me move forward because everybody is great in their own way and things that they do, and we acknowledge everybody's special gift that they have in their own person.
Exactly, couldn't have said better. Summertime, I got a photo with you. Was that the Bastic, DJ Bastic, his festival thing he had?
Oh, Scratch Bastard.
Scratch Bastard, yeah. That's where I seen you.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
He was there, and who was there too? Smith & Wesson.
Smith & Wesson, yes. And there's a lot of new artists. Well, not new, but they're relevant in the scene as well. Ace on Eastwood. Have you ever heard Ace on Eastwood? Oh, hell of a talent. He's really good. Ace on Eastwood's really good. It's one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, like everybody's always there, and it's great to see that. Like it's just great to see the way that artists from Canada. I hate saying like Canadian artists because like you're an artist, period.
Exactly.
Right? Wherever you're from. Nobody says Australian artists, something like that. But it's great to see because I find, to a degree of like hip hop, it's American, it's New York, or West Coast or South, whatever, but like, it's American. It's great to see that us as Canadians are impacting that world because we're that way as well. The difference that I find in between like us as musicians and producers, DJs, and whatever, anyway, in that kind of creativity is that we have more of a worldview where Americans kind of just look into America, where us, we look to everywhere.
Everywhere, worldwide, yes.
And that I think is our is like kind of like our thing that we have, is because when we express our music and do music in that way, we come from all sorts of areas, right? And our experiences, like I was saying, when I was growing up at 421 Markham Road, it's like we had people from Eastern European, people from South America, like all in the neighborhood, Sri Lanka, East Indonesia. So we all grew up the same way, right? Like we all just, we would throw dirt bombs and have dirt bomb fights with each other. We all did all these things, all of us together, no matter what. It's like, we're going to Sanjeet's house, like we're going over there, or we're going to borrow James's hockey net to go play street hockey, right? Like, can we borrow your net? We go and cut out old, like when there was a couch by like the garbage tin that they would take. Like
they toss on the couches.
We would cut them and make goalie pads.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like so.
Tape it up.
Tape it up. Put the 2 strings in it and tie it in the back, and then now you were the goalie, right? Like, you have your pads. Can I use your pads instead of a jacket and foot hockey? So like, I think that our experience coming into the global world of stuff, our musical touch, and even just creatively on pretty much on almost all level, it comes in because we're experienced by other cultures as well, yes, within ours, and we can go and do that, and makes our music and makes what we do, I think, and find almost like together better, because we don't look in, we look out. And I think that is that's one of the things that really makes our music and our vibes different from from like your straight what you get from America, and then somebody in America is going to be like, "Oh, he's hating on America." Of course, I'm not hating on America. I'm talking about the differences between what we do and what you guys do, is because we have. They say they're the biggest melting pot in the world, and whichever. But I would beg to differ. Exactly. Because here, everybody is here in Toronto. Yeah. From everywhere.
Cultures all over the world. Yeah, everywhere. It's international.
International, and then we go to their, like, I'll go and have a butter chicken and over here, and then they'll go and have a jerk chicken over there. And
or go to the East and get a gyro or get a souvlaki.
Yeah, like you could go.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I feel like this or Chinese food or something like that. It's like our culture is just, our Canadian culture is culture of, we represent our own, because a lot of us are first generations. I'm first generation.
Yeah.
My brothers and I are first generation. And a lot of my friends are first generation. So they bring their culture into us. Like now, obviously, my kids are born Canadian, whatever,
course, yeah.
but they grew up on my generation knowing about other people's cultures and stuff. And I think that goes and puts to a lot of why we stand out when we do music. Canadians do music or just almost anything because we're influenced by worldview and not just by looking inside.
And I think it's also educational as well.
Yeah,
I think it just
absolutely.
educates your brain, all that stuff.
Yeah, because you just get to know, like just what people do. Like, there was this one, I think it was Dave Chappelle. He had this one funny skit or was it Chris Rock? It was either Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle. And it was like how people get pulled over by the cops. And it was like, no, what do? You have a thing. And then like for like black people, like we're like hands out the window, make sure, just don't curse, don't, because, like, and then you have your friend over here, Chris Poole.
Yeah.
I have Chris Poole over here. F you, officer, we ain't do shit. Yeah. And I'm like,
and you're like,
yo, like, yo.
I want to go home tonight. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to go home, and like it's funny, it's good, it's just funny, and it's great, and I think that's what makes us as Canadians doing, especially entertainment. It makes us really great because we have a different worldview, and we see everybody like. Austin Powers, why did that go so well? Because he's doing all the British things and that and this and that, and it's just different. And so, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned as well there, you said touch, and we're talking about so much about the Northern, and now I'm going to get into right away is Northern Touch. Now, huge Canadian anthem, especially what it meant to the city itself, especially some bars that you had on that song. 97, how did that all come about, Northern Touch? Let's talk about it.
Okay, so Northern Touch is funny. So, like, it's not funny, but it's funny. So I guess it is funny. What I'm saying is, so I'm working. I was a daycare teacher. I was working at Mother of Compassion, which was attached to Mother Teresa in Malvern, where I grew up, and that was the school. So I was there. So before, like when sometimes, especially people who were born in the 2000s and up, they would not know about, you had to pay like 50 cents a minute on your phone and stuff like that, like per minute.
Remember the bell, the 25 cents each of those bells?
The bell, yeah, like, so we didn't go on our phone like that. Like now, how we do now, you have unlimited and all this other stuff. So I got a call from, like, at my work, like they called the work, and then somebody comes and they're like, hey, you got a phone call on line 1. So, like,
whatever.
Everybody, yeah, like, it's whatever. But, like, I don't know who it is. Like, who's calling me at work? Who has my work number? Number
Serious
1.
matter.
Yeah, like, like, what? Okay. So I go, so it was Big C and Saul Guy. Big C was working with BMG at the time, and Saul Guy was the manager of the Rascals at that time. And so they're like, we have this track with the Rascals. We're not sure what we want to do with it, but we got the Rascals on the first part, and this is on 2-inch tape, so it's not like now where you just, and then you can email stuff.
Yeah.
So it was and then we have this new guy. I wasn't familiar with him at the time, Checkmate, and he's on the third part. And I was like, okay, yeah. And he's like, yeah, we want to go and try and do something with you. Okay, let's do it. So me and Cardi, we're driving around, like us, the circle. We went to everybody's sessions. Like, we would just go to, like, Cardi had a studio session, or he was doing something at his house. I would drive up from Scarboro and go up to Okinawa and go to his house and just be there.
Yeah.
And just be there, just to be there. And same thing, everybody did it. Like, all of us, the whole circle,
Support.
all of us would always do stuff like that. And I was like, yo, I got this tape in, and the Rascals want to do this thing. And we all knew who the Rascals were. And we didn't know who Checkmate was. And but I knew that Thrust was going to be on. We were going to go to the studio and whatever. He's like, yeah, okay. So we're in the whip. And he's like, yeah, let's go. So we go over there. Mastermind's there, and C's there, and a whole bunch of other people are at the studio to go and do the record. So So I meet up with Thrust. So me and Thrust, we going in there, and around that time, everybody wanted to be the anchor, right? Like everybody wanted the last verse, like like Busta Rhymes on Scenario, right?
The main event.
Yeah, like that's what everybody. So me and Thrust, because we both wanted to be the last, because we had Rascals on the first, Checkmates on the third, so you had the second and the fourth. So we do paper, rock, scissors.
No way.
And I lose, and that's why I became second.
Okay.
So that's
Song comes out of paper.
yeah, like literally, we were like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, you're last.
Wow.
So then I became second. Literally, that's how we decided it. And then Cardi's in the studio with me, and we just regular studio thing. But he's sick too, right? Like he's sneezing, coughing. Like if this was COVID, you'd be like everybody be like leaving the room right now. He's sneezing all over the place and everything like that. He was so sick, and he had 2 tissues up his nose, and like literally, he'll tell you that he had 2 tissues up his nose because his nose was running. He was just super sick, and I did my part. And I'm like, we're thinking about a hook, and I'm just like, 12, yes. And Cardi goes to me, what did you just say there? And I was like, I don't know, something like notorious and something. And then he took it. And then what happened was, because originally he wasn't scheduled to be on the song, right? Like, it was me, Rascals, Checkmate, and Thrust. And then there was a chorus left. And we would guess we would have to come up with the chorus, or they would come up with a chorus, whatever the chorus would have been. So Cardi's like, yes. So he goes, and then I was thinking, because to me, Cardi's like that. Like Julie is like the Mary J. Blige of Canada. Cardi is like the Busta Rhymes, right? So I'm like, yo, you should do that. And he's like, I don't know if I'm not really feeling latte. I don't know. But he goes and he does it. And then it comes out that way. And then, so then time goes on, the song, because we did it like whatever. Like I'm still working at the daycare. Yeah. Time goes on, and then we do this, and we do this. And then they come up to us and they're like, hey, yeah, we kind of really want to, we're thinking that we're going to release this song. I was like, whoa, wow, that's great. Because, like I had my own singles. I'm independent. I'm just putting out vinyl. And I'm like, and BMG is behind this with the Rascals. They have the record company. So we're all like, oh, yeah, this is great. This is great. And they're like, yeah, we're thinking of doing this and that. And, but we'll keep you posted. Then when they were about to go and release it, what happens? Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at? DMX comes out with the exact same beat.
What?
December of 97. So then that comes out, and they were just about to drop Northern Touch. And at that time, because of the way the dynamics were, it was like, like they're good for Canadian. But here comes DMX, and he has to push. Like he's the Rough Riders, he's Def Jam, he's everything. And we're like, this is going to tank our song. And no, it didn't. And people, it started getting play, and people were like, yeah, we like this. And at first, it was like, oh, you guys took the DMX beat. Just like, no, we did this a year ago. So we actually did it like in like December of 96 or January of 97. So now we go up into like getting into 98. So like this song is already done.
How did they get the beat though?
Chemo did it. And it's a sample from, I guess, I think the group is called BT Express.
So, okay.
So, like, they sampled the same sample that we used. And then we did it. And then, so we started getting love on the track. Like, it's just like, people are like, I guess because people from the West Coast, they saw, like, Canadian contingency of, like, West Coast, East Coast, but we're not really on a coast, but West Coast, East Coast. And so then they said, okay, yeah, we're going to do a video for the song. So right there, I'm like, wow, yeah, because like, of course, I'm down with doing the video for the song. I'm on with the song with everybody. Everybody's there. Jellystone, Socks, Mission Me. Everybody's all there at the studio, and then Little X is gonna do it. So Little X, or Director X, or X, Mr. X, whatever he calls himself now, Little X, he calls me, and he goes, I remember he said something along the lines I remember you call yourself the sexual chisnoclet Choclair the ill flower, right? I was like, yeah, because that was my full name at the time. Full name. The sexual chisnoclet Choclair the DA ill flower. And he goes, you're going to be the only one with a girl in the video. I go, what? He's like, yeah, like everybody else is going to just perform, but you're the sexual chisnoclet. So I'm going to here's Melissa Ford.
Ooh, okay.
She's going to be your co-part on the video. So at first I'm like, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Give me a girl in the video. I'm the only guy. And she was cool. And we became really, really good friends. Like friends, like friends, like not like no scandal stuff like that. No, there's nothing. There's no
just friends. Yeah,
yeah. We were really cool friends. We would talk all the time and everything like that, and hang out and go out and have drinks and just talk. And we would just be good friends. And that was his thing. And Little X was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do on that video. And that's why when you watch Northern Touch, the video, there nobody else is in the video with a girl on them.
Just you.
Just me.
Wow.
Because X said that. And then the funny part of with Northern Touch, I was just mentioning this just actually earlier today with somebody is they go, where do you rhyme in your first 4 bars? Like, what's your rhyme stuff? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it sounds like it rhymes. It's like, no, you don't. Like, maybe it's just the way that I flow. It's like, none of your words rhyme, but it sounds so good. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I like chilling Monday Night Raw, watching me and Danny O at the Sky Dome. I sit down and I just be regular. And they're like, yeah, but there's no rhyme part. I'm like, it rhymes in there. And they're like, oh, no. And then it became this big thing that everybody jokes like, yo, Choclair didn't rhyme once in the first 4 bars of Northern Touch. It didn't rhyme once. It sounds good, but he didn't rhyme once. and then that's been the ongoing thing. And then I did this interview with these guys from Scarboro Spots. And I was telling them the same story. And they put up on this thing, like on their, the bottom screen of the thing, or the top screen, and they're like, and they said it didn't rhyme once. And then Danny O comes in, he's like, yo, in the thread, he's like, yo, I'm so happy to be shouted out in that one thing. And Shocks just said, fuck the rhyming. And then somebody else comes in, he's like, I've been saying that for years. Like, yo, and then someone comes in, but yo, we know every word and everything. And so, this is recent, within this week. And everybody come up and keep saying that. And I was like, yeah, like everybody comes and says, yo, it doesn't even rhyme or whatever, but it fits, it hits pockets and whatever. And that's kind of the Northern Touch and how it came. And Northern Touch did what it did. And that became the second song that I got a Juno for.
And it was an anthem, an absolute anthem.
Absolutely. And I love it till today. I love it. Like, to be a part of that song that has that significance in Canadian music history is great.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Now, there's a lyric you say there. It says Monday night. It says Raw watching. I met you at Monday Night Raw. I have a nostalgic photo right here. Look at this photo right here. I have my hair too. Look at this. Look at that right there. I have a photo right there of myself here.
Wow.
And you were from Raw at Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, Roach, I'm like, I gotta get a picture. That's Choclair. That's why I told you. This is the interview I'm doing right now. It's very nostalgic for me. I've done hundreds, but I'm like, I have to show that. That is from, I believe, 2000. I think 4 or 5. This is way, way, way back. That right there. I'm gonna pull up the prompter right there so they can see it. This is way back. That's why I'm like, you have love for wrestling. You actually watch wrestling.
My friend, Brandon Muhammad, so he worked for WWE Canada. And because of that line of Northern Touch, people knew that I liked wrestling. And they would ask me, like, they'd come up to you, it's not real. I was like, of course we know it's
entertainment. At its finest.
Yeah, and we love it. They're athletic. They do, they flipping off the rings and everything. And, you watch it. So whenever he would be like, if I ever had to get to, like, because he worked for WWE Canada, he'd be like, if I'm ever going to give it to you, I'd give it to somebody that I know that would appreciate it, and you are the person. And we would go whenever we come to Monday Night Raw, would come into Toronto, and we would go. And one of the times that I went was when Bret Hart came back from WCW, but they already WWE already bought WCW at that point. And then he came back, and after the Montreal school job and everything like that, and Bret Hart came back, and that was the night that he won back the belt
Yeah, nostalgic. Wow.
So I remember, me and Brandon, like we just out and we're having a good time, like, you know, like 6 double beers going on, like, you know, like we were just having a good time watching wrestling, slamming the because we're right front of the row.
You're from, that's where I got the picture.
Yeah, he's slamming the front and just, you know, yelling and just having a great time. So we go to this after party, which is I think up on like Roncesvalles or something like that. This small little club, and whichever, and then he went in and then he dipped. I don't know where he went, but he left. So I'm just there. Bret Hart walks in. And Bret Hart walks in. Now, the first time I seen Bret Hart in person was at the Rascals Sharpshooter, I think it was the video.
Yeah, music video, yep.
So that was the first time I met him in person. And now we're off of like a video set and everything like that. And he's just walking in with the belt. I go like myself, I'm like, I gotta do something. I look and I have like, I think I have like $200 in my pocket or something like that. And I'm like Bret Hart, like, you know, like the Rick James or something like that, like, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy him a bottle of wine, and it came up to like $2.70 or something. I don't know where I got the extra $70, or they just let it slide somehow. They spent my last $2.70 and bought him a bottle of wine, and I took a picture. It's at home at my mom's house. My mom never lets me keep anything, like none of my awards, no gold records. She thinks I'm gonna lose them. I'm like, how am I going to lose my gold record? They're going to be on my wall. She's like, I'll just keep them safe. That's a real mom there. Yeah. She's like, I'll just keep them safe here. So every time I go to Ajax and I go there, all my stuff is there. And there's my picture.
It's a museum.
And there's my picture with Bret Hart with the gold record. Not the gold record, with the championship, us there. And figuring out how I'm getting home bottle of wine that I spent all my money on that night to go and give it to this thing. And it's awesome. And that Monday Night Raw line is like, it's crazy. And somebody always tells me, people will come up to me and they'll be like, yeah, when we hear Northern Touch, like, we know sometimes artists forget lines and songs and you guys wrote it, but you cannot forget that intro. Because everybody knows, I like chilling. And everybody said, Monday Night Raw, watch it. Yes. And then for me, I flip it. I'll be like, well, at least I know I don't have to say that line. Because everybody was like, I like chilling. Take a drink of water. Me and Daddy, let this guy, because I know everybody's going to say it. So, but yeah, that was wonderful going to wrestling. I still go wrestling. I just found out wrestling is going to be in Montreal. I would love to be like, I don't know, anybody that's watched wrestling recently and they'll be like, oh, and Jelly Roll's in the front row over here.
It's become a spectacle, yeah.
Yeah.
They should bring back the Choclairs, the front row.
In Montreal and in Toronto. I'll go to all three because it's Montreal Friday SmackDown, Saturday Night Main Event in Montreal, and then Raw is in Toronto.
Yep. Wow. This is the craziest part is, too, that we just had a show November 9th in Montreal, the screw job with Bret Hart on stage. I had that, yeah. I don't know if you see recently, he went viral for things that he said that, I don't know if Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon are lovers. That's for my show. That's it.
Oh, really? It was? Okay, because I did see that.
Yeah, that was for my show, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we were just recently, we did anniversary, what I called the screw job anniversary in Montreal. And on November 9th, yes. And one of the subjects that we're talking about Bret Hart, this is too good. This is too good. He somehow creeps up every time. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That's so good, yeah. But yeah, like, I'm hoping, I would love to be, and, this might just be like my own little whatever on the side, but I would love for the people that know that I'm into wrestling and enjoy the fact, because it's a little bit of a niche culture type thing. Like you like it a lot, or you just started watching everyone's
big now, huge,
and it's huge. And I would love to go and just be like, and guess this is my dream. And look what we got sitting here at ringside, Choclair. And then the best thing that I think, because of the people that support me and I love them for that, is they'll be like, yep.
Yeah.
If he
it'll be like a whole full circle moment.
It will be like, of course he's there.
Of course, yeah.
Of course he's there.
We're going to make it happen, guys. Watchers of the show that love wrestling, make it happen. It's coming up. Choclair is right here.
Yeah, I would love. I think it's January 23rd, 4th, and 6th. 2 in Montreal and the 26th in Toronto on Monday night.
So hire this guy. He knows more than anyone. It's too good.
Oh, I found that when I was watching, I was like, what? The wrestling's going to... And then I'm looking up tickets.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, just brought to catch up on this as well as your debut album as well. Ice Cold, 1999.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive back then. Let's talk about that.
So Ice Cold. Okay, so it kind of goes back. So that came out in November 9th. What was the 2nd or 9th? November 2nd and November 9th. Somewhere around there. Anyways. It goes back like a little bit is Russ Hergert, who was my A&R at the time, and he was the one who got me signed to Virgin Music Canada. He heard Let's Ride, because like going back to the story with Let's Ride. So we heard it. This is 97 now. And he goes, I don't care what you're doing. Save this song for me. I'm really trying to do something for you. So I was like, all right. So we released Flagrant. We released the song with Guru, Bear Witness, and other songs. And other people's songs. Like people also remember Knee Deep Entertainment, which was me and my manager, Lee Frederick's day at the time. We released Danny O's record, Socrates' record, Julie Black's record, Cardinal's first 2 records, Danny O's record, Frankenstein record. We had I don't even know how we paid for it, to be honest. Really, I really don't. I know I had a job, but I didn't really realize what I was spending to press all these vinyls and ship them. And ship the vinyl, because it's not like, I'll just email you the song. No, you have to ship the record, right? I don't know how we paid for it, to be honest. I knew I had a job, but I didn't know that all the money was going into that. We did that. So we put out tons of independent. And at the time, too, it was like, when we first started doing records, I was giving up on Broccoli, because I was sending in demos to EMI, Warner Brothers, Sony, all these different places. And it's like, if you don't know anybody, nobody's paying attention. I used to hear stories of people going in and coming in the next day and seeing their mix, their demo in the trash, right? Like they didn't even listen. They're just like, I'm not listening to it. So I was giving up. So I said, man, we should just start our own record. And then Lee Fredericks, he calls me the next day and he said, were you serious about that? I was like, yeah. I just go and be, like an executive behind the scenes. And whatever. And then we did, so we registered the company. This is 94. Registered the company, Knee Deep Entertainment. And then we had Father Time from Socrates. And we had that song. But back then, all the songs needed B-sides. Yeah. Right? There was a B-side. You had One More Chance from Biggie, and on the flip side, you had Who Shot You? Yeah. And I remember that's the first time I was like, what song is this? I looked at Bad Boys on the record and everything. I was like, where is this song from? Yeah. So I listened to 88.1, and then this guy calls in. I literally was listening to it as it happened, and they're like, yeah, this record. Oh, okay. So before that, it was like, okay, well, I'll do a B-side. And I called it 21 Years, right? So that became the B-side of the record. And so somebody calls in and like, yeah, you guys are playing Father Time a lot from Socrates, and that's a big song. He got signed to Warner Brothers off that song. We were like, oh, yeah, but you got to check out that other side. There's a song and they butchered my name, Choclair. This is a pretty cool song. It's called 21 Years. And then I remember, because I was listening to it on the radio, and DJ X goes, yeah, we have been giving Father Time a lot of play. But let's go and check out this song by, he said my name, right? He said it roughly, right? Choclair. And let's go and check the song out. And then he played it. And then I don't know how it went. Then DJ Premier picks it up and puts it on Reality Check 101. So everybody thinks DJ Premier produced 21 Years, but it was Day that did it. So then now, off the strength of Father Time and 21 Years, off the first vinyl that we did, very, very first one we did, we're like, well, we got to put another record out. But we have no artists, because I'm not an artist at this point. I'm executive. I'm behind the scene. Yeah. Well, we don't have any artists. I guess we got to do another single because we got to follow up. All right. Oh, this is Dave. Oh, Cardi's friend? She's really good. You met her once, but I don't know if you guys have officially met. I was like, no, I'm going to come in the studio on Thursday and we'll go and do it. Come back in the studio. Who is it? Julie Black. And she's like, yeah, I've seen you around with Cardi and everybody and stuff like that, here, there, and whatever. So like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. What do you want to do? What did we do? What it takes. What happened? First Juno that we ever had. On the B side, Just a Second. So then now we got a Juno. Now a little bit of tension's coming up. We don't have any artists. I guess I'm going to be the artist at that point, right? And then here comes Russ Hergert. So then the thing when I was telling you in front of government with Cardi and Let's Ride Beat. So I recorded and we're doing talking and just whatever we're doing, shucking and jiving and politicking the stee, as KLC from Baby Blue would say, politicking the stee. And then that's where Russ goes. He says, "Hey, this song, Let's Ride, he's talking about. Save it for me. Do whatever you want. Just save this. I'm planning something for you." And it was just blind trust. And so then we released a Danny O record, California from Sox, and all these other records, Mad Fly. I'm just releasing records. And then Russ comes to me and he says, "Hey, I want you to meet Dean Cameron. Rest in peace. He passed away. Dean Cameron, he's the president of EMI." So we go and we sit down and we talk. And then it was, I think it was called the Urban Music Canada Awards or something, UMAC. Back then it was at Danforth Hall. So the night, it was on like the 29th. So the night before, we go out for dinner. And there's lawyers. And everybody's there. And they're like, looking over this contract, and we're eating very expensive food that I could not afford.
They got the bill.
They did. And so then we end up signing the contract. First time I ever had, I know people don't like it now, but like the first time I ever had Cristal. I still have the bottle. I remember before you could cork it and leave, they had to wrap it in tinfoil so I could walk out the door with the bottle. My mom has it. I still have that bottle. And then we go, and then the awards are the next day. And so the funny part is that I'm wearing a hockey jersey because everybody was kind of wearing hockey jerseys back then in the 97s and stuff, 98s. But on this hockey jersey, it says Virgin. Oh my God. For Virgin Music Canada, right? So, and I'll never forget this. This is one of my moments that I will always remember. It's like, so Russ is, they're giving away an award for best hip hop, something else, and whatever was going on. And then it was Virgin Music Canada is, we're committed to go and support the urban music and Canada. And then it was weird at that point too, because urban music meant black music, but they never would call it black music. They just call it urban music. But we're supporting urban music. And what we want to do is we were happy to announce that we just signed Choclair, and I could not believe, because it's all your peers, everybody out in packed. The place is packed, right? At the Danforth Music Hall. It was this moment because they're all peers. All of us are working, doing what we're doing, and trying to come up in what we're doing. Like everybody. And once he said that, I will never forget the look of the crowd's face is that they all stood up, clapped like this, and the reaction was, "It's about damn time." Wow. I will never forget that feeling. Oh my gosh, everything's on high alert on my body because I don't know what to expect, right? And I'm sure because everybody is like chaos song, the crabs in the bucket. Everybody wants something. So they could be like, "Oh, why him?" Yeah. Right? No. They were all like, "It's about damn time." And that was the lead up into, I know it was a very long round the block going to that point. So then now we're working on Ice Cold. And I'm going to New York, I'm doing these tracks, I'm hooking up with Memphis Bleak, doing songs with Memphis Bleak, and like in LA, hitting not golf balls, tennis balls on the top of the hotel and losing them. They just go over the fence, me and Sox and Cardi. Like we went everywhere. We were whatever, we did it. And then he goes to me, Russ Hergert, he's like, okay, so let's ride. Okay, so here's what my idea is. We're going to get Little X. That's what he was called at the time. I know Mr. X now, or Director X, whatever he's called now. We're gonna go get him. And the thing is that when Little X was first working with Hype Williams, he went down to New York as a mentor. and came back up. But like the stigma of the B rated was like he could be good for Canadian, or he's okay for Canadian, or the video is good for Canadian, or this is good for a Canadian artist. Nobody would kind of give him his love, and we were like, yeah, we will go and put that in. That was What It Takes video with Julie Black. He did the second part. Rage did the first part, which was a production company, and then. When in Parkdale, like there's the fighting scene and the cars and all this other stuff. But then the part that we did on Ward's Island was all Little X. So that was his first video coming back to do it, and that opportunity we granted him. So then now he's like, I'm going to go and do some crazy shit for this Let's Ride video. Because he was the one that did that when I came back after that. And Hype Williams was the shit at that time. Hype Williams, right? Did videos, and then we did that, and then that also went on to win the Juno, right, with me and Julie Black. That was the song. That was his first Canadian produced video.
It's the highest accomplishment for a Canadian artist, Juno.
Yeah, and that was that video. So then he went and did Let's Ride for me, and I could not even tell you like the impact of that. It was like 24 weeks on the chart.
2 years, holy.
Yeah, like it came out September, and it only started and it just kept climbing. It went to number 1 or number 2, number 2 or 1, but it didn't start falling. It came out in September. The album came out in November, and it didn't start dropping off the chart till late January. And in the middle of doing the Ice Cold, they would come up to me, and so we're doing Master T, Extend the Mix, and they used to do these 1 hour specials. And there'll be like people will perform. And, you would just figure that, like regular people, your street team people would be there, your A&R manager or whatever. I'm like, why is the finance department here? Why is legal aid not legal aid, legal team, whatever they were calling themselves. And this guy's here. The president is here. Like, oh, okay, well, we're doing all right. And so, we just, they're just here to support, like this is a big deal. And then they had ice sculptures. It's the Choclair. Much music. To find out, that was the day they said, it's been 35 days and your album's gold already. And that's the fastest, at that time, the fastest record to go gold. And that's why everybody was. And then he took me to another expensive dinner. Of course he did. And like exotic whatever, like alligator fin.
At that moment, it was cool.
Well, I tried it, right? But just give me a curry goat and I'm good to go, right? Like I don't need an alligator fin and this special bird called pheasant beak or I don't know whatever's going on over there. But it was good. And that's how Ice Cold came together. And the one funny thing about that too was the fact that when it was coming out, so the November 9th or November 2nd, whenever the date was, right when it was coming out, it was not fun because all the press was like, if Choclair's album doesn't do good, it's going to show that Canadian hip hop doesn't sell.
Pressure.
So, and that became the talking line of what all the press was like. There's a lot riding on your record. There's a lot to where it wasn't fun. Like me and Sox and Cardi and Ro and Solitaire and all of us, Tara, Julie, we go in the studio and we have fun and record. And that's why the songs came out that way. And then now I'm like, you're going to tell me that if my record doesn't sell, I tank the whole Canadian hip hop industry?
So it's not fun.
Yes. Yeah. That's what they told me. Yeah. They said, yeah. Because you have so much push behind you. If you don't do good, they're going to be like, see, I told you. And it wasn't fun anymore. Until I get the call. 1 week, they don't really do it now. Nielsen SoundScan. And they used to do it on Tuesdays all the time. And I get a call. I was in BC. And it's Russ Hurd on the phone. And he's like, so do you want to know? I knew why he was calling me. Because it's Tuesday. So I know what he was calling. You want to know? I was like, do I want to know? He's like, yeah. I just want to tell you that you're number 2 on the charts. Nice. And he's like, whatever. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. Yeah, you sold like so many records in the first week. And that was a big thing at that time, right? How many records you sell in your first week. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I think you're just behind Madonna. I think you're just behind Madonna. And then I was like, no way. And then they fly me because now my record's coming out in March through Priority in the States, which is an affiliate of EMI type thing. And so I'm out there doing that. They fly me out there to go and do whatever. And I'm walking, I'm in Beverly Hills, and I'm like Will Smith, like, you know, at the cover of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm like, oh, Beverly Hills, like, what am I doing here? Like, you know, I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm in Beverly Hills at this party, and it looks like a Beverly Hills party. And then all of a sudden, like right where you're sitting right there, I see Red and Meth walk into the door. And I'm like, that's Red and Meth. And they just drop Blackout, right? And they're coming, and the way that they have to come, they have to pass by me. So I'm obviously a fan of both of them and the record. No, probably the record front to back. And they walk in. I'm like, all right, so just keep your hand and just say hi, what's up? Don't fanboy too much, you know, like, you know, make sure whatever, you know, you're an artist too, but, you know, that's who they are. And so they're walking and they're coming up, and I'm just like, because so much going in my head of how to say hi, right? Like, you know, and he's walking right by me, and I'm sticking my head. I'm like, Red. He goes, motherfucking Choclair. I was like, hey, what's up? He goes, you know I know you are? I said, no. I said, because we have the #1 album around the world, except for Canada, because we behind you. Come on, let's go smoke. And then I got high as fuck. I was like, yo. I was like, yo, what the hell? And we've been cool ever since. Like I see him. There's just pictures out there. I see him come into Toronto. He's like, yo, Red. But that's how I knew. And then Red signed Socks to Gilla House. And then all of that, and Meth comes down, and we go, and I'll see his Wu-Tang shows in there. But that's how Ice Cold hit. And that was like, that's how it hit. And it's still boggles my mind sometimes, because like people will be like Ice Cold and this, that, and I wrote this song and that song, and they call Situation 9 and all these different song titles and numbers that I don't remember. Classified will go to me and be like, it's song 10. And I have to go back and look at the record to figure out what song is song 10. You know, and he was like, yeah, see, I know your record, bro, like that. On that one, Memoirs, he's like, I know Memoirs, that one, and Flagrant. I know those 3 records. I know them from top to bottom. And that's was Ice Cold. And then my whole world changed. Like, you know, I wasn't the daycare teacher. I had to pick of staying at a job because at that time in the 90s, it was like, you know, like there was a lot of fatherless kids. You know, a single mother kind of pandemic situation. And so when I was working at the daycare, I was like their male influence, right? And now I'm touring. So like I'm here for a week, gone for 3, back for a week, but I'm there every day. After school, I would get there at 2, my school, and at 2:30, I started from 3 to 6 every day. And if I didn't have to go to school on that day, then I worked 8 to 6. So I was always there, and then I wasn't, and then I had to pick, and then I said, I'm going to do music, and the great thing is that some of the kids from back then, they text me on social media. They'd be like, hey, it's Raheem, and you remember me from back in school? I was the guy that kept throwing eggs all over the someone else. Like, I remember you were such a pain. but that's that. So that was Ice Cold.
What a story. That's just an amazing story. I said as well, recently as well, was at the 2002, it was the All-Canadian Allstars Drake had, and brought you on stage and gave you your flowers.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that right there. Drake giving you the flowers on stage.
I think that was very cool. It was a really cool situation because at first a lot of people, when he would do his OVO fests, and a lot of people would be like, you know, like he would bring big like Jay-Z and Kanye and Stevie Wonder and all these other people. And for a moment, people were like, what about the guys from here? You know, like whatever. So he did, I don't know what was in his head, but at the moment, but he did that, the OVO Fest at History, I guess that's his club, right? Yeah. At History, and it was all Canadian, and he came out and And he did a really good job of breaking it down, because like when he started and he first came out, he was naming off everything that was happening in the 90s of hip hop, and it was good. And for people like myself and then other people that are older than me, that's been around longer than me, you know, like he's talking about Now Magazine and Peace Magazine and Mic Check Magazine and this and that and Apple and I'm not a rapper t-shirts and all this and all these things. He's just like everything that we grew up listening to, he named off and started saying this is, and giving it its props. And then I just thought that was cool because, and especially I think a lot of people did too, because a lot of Drake in his position, throwing these big concerts, he went and said, yeah, I'm doing something for the city. And everybody was there. It was actually better to not be in the green room because, well, it was good because it was like a bro fest up there.
Yeah,
like Infinite's up there and this guy, Dream Warriors and everybody and Nelly Furtado and Sean Desmond and everybody's there and everybody's just like, yo.
Like full circle, yeah.
Full love it. But now it's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's, I don't know, let's say the room filled 50 people for backstage. There's like 150 people. Like hot. And so everybody just kept going outside because it was cooler out there. Yeah, it was a big deal. And to be there and for him to show that love. And a lot of people will tell me a lot of times, they'll be like, yeah, I saw you at that one. And it was like the city came. And the city came for Drake because Drake is Drake. But they also came because of who he put there. And you got Jellystone, you got, Chaos, Socks, Julie, Nelly, myself, Cardi, Sean Desmond, like all these people. That place was packed, and that actually was the resurgence of Sean Desmond.
Yeah.
Because everybody that was there, Sean Desmond was on. And, you have guilty song pleasures here and there. Like you like it, don't like it, may not like it. He's always a cool person or whatever, but you know the song. Yeah. And he did a great job. And since that date, now you see Sean Desmond.
Yeah, he's touring. He's going all over
the place. Yeah. So that was like his rebirth. And it was great for Drake to go and do that and go and shine a light on cats coming and cats that help build what is such Canada. Like nobody jokes with us anywhere. There's no more like B-side, like you're B-rated or anything. Nobody. If you say you're a Toronto rapper, people are going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like they're going to check for you, right? Like, so it was great that he did it. It was wonderful.
Love it. Now, recently as well, the Toronto Blue Jays, it's a heartbreak. 2 outs away. We go recap this. It'll be here forever, but it's a heartbreak. Now, you were actually featured, Let's Go Blue Jays, the song that you have as well, on the actual campaign for the World Series. Yeah. How'd that come about?
Well, we did that. Me and Azim Haq is the guy who I did the song with. We did it like at the start of the season, just as we love the Blue Jays, like we're hometown fans and we love the Blue Jays. So that song has been running since like April of this year. And all of a sudden, wait a minute, we're going to the World Series. Or not the World Series, we're going to the playoffs. Yeah. Then they start jacking up the song more. Then everybody's like, well, I'm hearing this song. And then we get to the playoffs, then we win the first round, we win the second round. Then they start playing Let's Ride as well with the Blue Jays song. And we just came together and said, hey, I'm doing a song for the Blue Jays. Would you like to do it? And yeah. And the song was nice. The hook is, the song itself is easy to listen. It's not, like some people, like, I guess our parents, older than us, they like their classic rock 70s, like Q, I don't even know if it's around, Q Rock 107 or something like that, if it's still around. But it's easy for them to listen to. It's not like all of a sudden here comes like, still DRE and, and these guys are like, oh, it's too heavy in the bass or something like that. It's easy listening song. And it just caught up. And I remember my friend telling me, every time I watch a Jays game, it's like, I feel like I see you every single time because you go in, like they would use it to go into commercial, come out of commercial, bed music while they're talking and whatever. And it just helped me go and do that. And I'm such a hometown fan, of any Toronto team. As soon as a Toronto team gets out of any major sport playoffs, I stop watching the sport.
Yeah.
Like Blue Jays didn't make it to the World Series. I don't watch sports, baseball since September. The Leafs, obviously, I love the Leafs, but like I'm waiting for them to get to round 2. But if they're out in round 1, then I stop watching. I stop watching. Yeah, basketball, same thing. Everything. Like I'm just hometown. And it was just great to see that had that impression in a lot of the people, and especially the players. Because I know they see this because they watch their games, and I'm sure they have TSN and Sportsnet or whatever. They get to know who the people are that do music in the city. And the one thing that I always said to a lot of people out there was, it's a shame that we don't connect sports entertainment with entertainment as much as we do, as much as they do in the States. Like if you go in the States, you see Jay-Z at a Knicks game, Spike Lee, and Snoop Dogg, this one,
Joe, everybody,
everybody's there, and they celebrate it.
Courtside, yeah, exactly.
They celebrate it, whereas they don't connect that. Like, okay, Drake is Drake, right?
Yeah, of course.
But, like if Cardi's at the game, a hockey game or something like that, put him on the screen.
Put him on the screen. Give him a jersey. Yeah.
Give him a jersey.
Yeah.
If Mercury's is there or Rascals are there. Yeah. They don't make that connect. So the fact that connect happened, I thought that was really cool. And sports fan that heard my name before started checking me out again. Because they're like, I know Choclair. Oh, he's playing. His song's playing for the Blue Jays.
World Series dope.
Then you just go, remember this song from him? Oh, wait, there's a new song from him. Oh, whoa, when did this song come out? And that's what it did. It was great.
Exactly. Now I gotta say as well, I always like giving my flowers to my guests that come on my show for certain reasons. For you, you have the imprint on the city, on the country, top charted singles, top charted albums. The list goes on and on. I want to thank you as well for all the memories that you've given all of us, of course. Now I can ask you this one question: is this? When it's all said and done, what do you want the fans to remember Choclair as?
Never thought about that actually. I think at the end of the day, I believe is like it's as far as a musician, it's like I was always myself. Somebody came up to me the other day. They were telling me about how they were explaining me to somebody that didn't know who I was from somewhere else around the world. And they were asking him. So this is him telling me. They were asking me, like, is he West Coast? Is he like Southern rap? Is he drill? Is that? And he goes to me, he's like, no. Choclair is just Choclair. Like, that's him. It's like, if you listen to Choclair music or you know who Choclair is, you can't categorize him. He's just Choclair. He raps, for sure, but he's not East Coast, he's not West Coast, he's not this, he's not South, he's not drill, he's not this. He's Choclair. And I found that very interesting that he told me that. And I think that is one of the things that I would like, is that people know that the music that I put out is, I put music that I feel. There's a joke that me and Cardi and other people, rest in peace Bishop, and other people would say is, don't give shocks the ox cord, because they'll be like, yeah, he's going to play some, he might play some Biggie, some Wu-Tang or whatever. No, it's quite right. No, it's Bon Jovi. No, it's Platinum Blonde. It's something else. And they'll be like, yo, what are you doing? So they always say, don't give shocks the ox. And I think it's our ongoing joke because nobody knows what I'm about to play. It's just a mood. And I think like the thing that I would like for them to go is just, I've always been authentic in myself in the way that I do music. I don't rap about stuff I don't know. I don't try to make myself look big, although it is bravioso type vibes and a bravado in a vibe of hip hop, right? But like, I don't overextend myself. It's like, I'm just true and authentic to music itself. And I think what people get away from me is that they will know that as far as the music is, and that I'm very dedicated and patriotic to us Canada and Canadians and what we do and what we bring forward. And some people I find a lot of times traveling around the world, my friend, he came in from Ghana, and he was here, and he's from a small village out there, and I live in a small town called St. Thomas, right? And he happens to live there, just outside of London. And one of the things that he would say, like, people would be like, I'm just from this small town, St. Thomas, or wherever, somewhere else, and I hate here, whatever. And, I'm just trying to get away, and that. So he goes to me, he's like, yo, I come from a small village in Ghana, and nobody hates on their small village. They're like, I'm from this village, and this. It's like, I don't understand how people, small town, it's not Toronto, but they can crap on their own hometown. And then that, not necessarily talking about St. Thomas itself, but like that is what I brought and I bring, is that you can be proud of where you're from. I'm from Scarboro, bigger situation in Toronto, bigger situation, I'm Canadian. And I'm proud of all of that. I'm proud of all of this, and you can be proud of that too. And you can go and sit there and shout out the DVP, or you can shout out, Jane Street or Islington or wherever, and people will like the fact that they can relate to what you're talking about. And I think that's where I sit in, is that people like the fact that I don't shy away that where I'm from. I'm Canadian, Scarborough, true and true and true. Everything. I do Canadian things, sometimes. I don't mess too much with nature as far as like I'm not trying. My friend, he does all this. Like, he'll see a moose and want to pet it. I'll be like, leave the moose over there and we'll just study it from here. Yeah. And you want to walk over there. Like, so, nope, that's you. And when it kicks you, like, I'll help you, but I'll be like, I told you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something like that. But like, I'll bring that I'm not afraid to say where I'm from, and I'm proud of where I'm from. And I'm proud of the people that I interact with, and I'm proud of the people that have helped me go and be able to do something that people thought is not possible when I was coming out in Canada to do. You can't be a music hip hop in Canada. You're going to try and live off that? 26 years and 28, 30 years in counting.
Living proof, yeah.
And I'm proud that people now is that nobody second jokes where you're from. If you say Toronto, we're world class. Yeah. There's nobody who's going to say nothing. Like, it's like we're there with New York and LA and Paris. We're there. Like, we're there. There's nothing. And I would love to believe that a part of me and others that have done music, not just hip hop, just music in general, like even Alanis Morissette, and I'm just a skater boy. I like a skater boy. What's her name again? Avril Lavigne, and Celine Dion, and damn, I feel like a woman, or something. What's her name? Yeah,
I'm on fire today.
Yeah, you get it. I'm forgetting them. Bryan Adams, and all the other rock bands that I was saying that I didn't know were Canadian back in the 80s when I was listening to. But like, we're a world class city, and I'm glad if I had a part of that to go and also influence other people coming up, and they can be proud of and say where they're from. Like, it's not like they faking. Like, I remember going to Caravana years before, and everybody had an American accent. And I'm like, yo, bro, do you live by Melvin Mall? Like, why are you talking like you're from Tennessee? Like, yo, where did that come from? They don't do it anymore. They're proud of Canadian. We have our own slang. Like, like people talk to us and be like, we don't get your slang and your words. Man, them. What was it? DMX. We would say man, them. And what did he used to say? The man and them or something? He would flip it. We're like, you're not saying it right. Yeah. It's the man, them. It's not my man and them or something like that, he would say. But we're proud of that. And if I had a part of it, I'm truly honored about that. And I'm glad that people, through my music and others, can feel very positive about where they come from, the support where they come from, the music that they want to do, the people that are doing the music, and that whole vibe. And it's just great. And then I just love the fact that people are really getting on to this transit music and the vibes and the songs and the beats. And they send me pictures of them listening to certain songs and stuff. And they're like, this is what I'm pumping to. And that is exactly what I wanted to go into. It's like something that you guys can feel proud of. And I believe that years going down the road and foreshadowing and everything is like, they'll be like that transit. Like Ice Cold, we like Ice Cold. And we like Flagrant. And Memoirs, we like too. And now everything like that. That transit album.
Exactly.
Like, whoa. Like, yo. And everything. I get a little bit of hate from AI, and it's like the AI. They're like, "Why did you do it? You're a creator. You're a creating guy. You should create, like whatever. You're kicking all of our graphic design." And I was like, to be honest, the way the record album cover came together, it's like my friend of mine who's a videographer, graphic designer, photographer, and everything's like, I'm messing with this new technology with AI, and I'm just trying to get some inspiration. So I sent him the record. Because it was about to come out, and he's like, what is it called? It's so dope. I was like, it's called transit music. You might as well mess with it. And so he does all the graphics and everything and all this other stuff. he was just trying to mess with it, and he came up with the cover, and I was like, "That's pretty dope." He's like, "I kind of like it too." He's like, "Yeah, I think we should keep it." And then that's how the record just came together like that.
Incredible.
And he's one of those guys that would be the graphic designer creating and whatever. And it was like, it's a couple of people, but like it was enough to go and allow me to go and say like, "Oh, I'm not taking away from God. I didn't do it. Like what I didn't do it. They may have thought I just put in prompts, train, rapper, turntable, something, and then that's what came out. Like, it was this guy who was a graphic designer who did it. Like, well, I don't know what he did, but and then he came back with that, and then we liked it. And it was like, well, what are we gonna say? Oh, we can't use it because of that. I'm gonna use it. Exactly. And so I'm so happy the response I'm getting from transit music is great.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's why we broke it all down today. This has been one of my most favorite interviews as well. Very in depth. And I'm sure we'll do it again in the future. Choclair, I can't thank you enough. This was just a fantastic interview, guys. And obviously, reach out to him through the socials. Look out. Are you going to be touring perhaps very soon?
Yeah, definitely in the beginning of the next year. Right now, I'm doing a lot of promo and stuff like that. So you might see me in your city and be like, "What's Shots doing over at Pita Pit? Getting a pita." But I might happen to be in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan or something like that. But doing all of that. But next year, 2026, you're going to see Choclair. There's so much happening. I'll give you a quick. Sox told me this is how Sox told me to say. Sox's name is Amani. My real name is Kareem. The city I'm from is Toronto, area code 416. This is what he told me. Tell him AK416 will be coming out next year. The song is already out. It's called Mr. Pendergrass.
You can hear it, guys. Also, Transit Music, an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Choclair, an absolute honor, my friend.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thank you, everybody out there. Much love.
Peace.